had to realize that I was worth loving, loving, loving. I had to realize that I was worth loving, loving, loving.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Worth Loving Podcast. I'm your host, Kiana W. Mitchell, and today we're diving into a topic that so many survivors quietly wrestle with. How do you date with confidence after emotional abuse? So if you have ever felt afraid to trust yourself again, unsure of your judgment, or worried you'll repeat old patterns, you're not alone. Healing after emotional abuse is not just something that you deal with after leaving the relationship. It is about rebuilding the parts of yourself that were silenced, dismissed, or made to feel unworthy. Dating again can bring up fear, confusion, and even grief, but it can also be a powerful opportunity to reconnect with your intuition, your boundaries, and your sense of self. Research from trauma experts like Dr. Bessel and Dr. Judith Herman shows that emotional abuse disrupts the nervous system, self-trust, and the ability to feel safe in connection. So, if dating feels overwhelming, there is nothing wrong with you. Your body and heart are simply trying to protect you. So today, we're going to talk about what it looks like to date with confidence after emotional abuse, how to rebuild your trust, and what red flags and, most importantly, green flags to look for, and how to move at a pace that honors your healing. My goal is to help you feel grounded, empowered, and supported as you step into this new chapter. And before we dive in, be on the lookout for a special mini drop from our podcast artist, Emery Rose. It's coming soon. It's going to be on all streaming platforms. Her music is soft, it's cinematic, and deeply reflective. It's the perfect soundtrack for your healing journey. Okay, so let's get started with a recap of last week's episode of the podcast. So last week on the podcast, we talked about why so many people find themselves repeatedly drawn to partners who are emotionally unavailable, inconsistent, or unsafe, and how to finally break that cycle with clarity and confidence. Healing from toxic relationships isn't just about avoiding the wrong people, it's about understanding the deeper patterns that shaped your attraction in the first place. So last week we talked about how childhood wounds, attachment, injuries, and past emotional abuse can contribute and condition your nervous system to confuse chaos with chemistry. When you've been taught to earn love, overfunction, or ignore your intuition, toxic partners can feel familiar, even when they're harmful. Last week's episode broke down how these patterns form and, more importantly, how to unlearn them. Last week, we talked about how to rebuild self-trust, strengthen your boundaries, and reconnect with the version of you that knows what healthy looks like and feels like. We explored the difference between real emotional safety and the intensity of trauma bonding, how to recognize early red flags, and how to pay attention to the green flags you may have overlooked in the past. So last week's conversation was all about reclaiming your power, honoring your healing, and choosing relationships that align with your worth and not your wounds. So, if you missed last week's episode of the podcast, I highly encourage you to go back and listen to it, and also listen to the question and answer section so you can get more clarity on why you may be doing some of the things that you're doing. I have included a link to last week's episode of the podcast in the show notes, so just click on the link and listen to last week's episode of the podcast to understand how to stop attracting toxic partners. I want to take a moment to share something that can support you if you're ready to go deeper in your healing journey. My 12-week trauma-informed coaching program, You Are Worth Loving, is designed specifically for women who are healing from emotional abuse, rebuilding self-trust, and learning how to choose relationships that feel safe, healthy, and aligned. Inside the program, we work together to help you understand your attachment patterns, rebuild your sense of worthiness, learn how to set boundaries without guilt, break free from cycles of emotional unavailability, strengthen your intuition, and create a vision for healthy love. This isn't a surface level program, it's deeply supportive, emotionally safe, where you can heal at your own pace. You'll receive weekly coaching, guided exercises, and tools rooted in research from leading psychiatrists. Their work on attachment, trauma, and self-compassion forms the foundation of the program. Some of the psychologists we will be using their research on is Dr. Sue Johnson, Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, and Dr. Kristin Neff. Their work is amazing, and I've used a lot of it in the podcast. So this is what we use to build our program and to make sure that people who are in the program get the help that they need. If you've been listening to this podcast and thinking, I know what I need to do, but I don't know how to actually do it, then this program is for you. You don't have to navigate healing alone. You don't have to guess your way through dating or relationships. You deserve support, clarity, and a roadmap. So, if you're interested in joining the next class, stay tuned. Enrollment opens soon, and I would love to walk alongside you on this journey. Now, let's get back into today's episode. Today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about how to date with confidence after emotional abuse. So we understand that dating after emotional abuse does feel different because you are different. Your nervous system has been shaped by experiences where love was unpredictable, conditional, or unsafe. According to trauma research by Dr. Judith Herman, emotional abuse disrupts a person's sense of identity, safety, and trust, all essential components of healthy relationships. So, when you step back into dating, it's natural to feel cautious, overwhelmed, or even unsure. You might find yourself questioning your judgment, wondering if you'll miss red flags again, or fearing that you'll repeat old patterns. These fears aren't signs of weakness, they're signs of wisdom. They show that, yes, you are aware, you're reflective, and you're committed to choosing differently. Emotional abuse also impacts your internal dialogue. You may have been told you were too sensitive or too emotional or quote unquote hard to love. These messages can linger, which makes you doubt your worthiness. But here's the truth. Emotional abuse distorts your self-perception, not your value. Your worth has never changed. It's still the same. You are worthy. Another reason dating feels different is because your body remembers. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk's research shows that trauma is stored in the body, not just in the mind. So even if you logically know someone is safe, your body may still react with fear or hesitation. This is normal. Healing involves learning to interpret these signals with compassion rather than panic. Dating after emotional abuse requires patience, self-awareness, and a commitment to honoring your pace. You don't have to rush. You don't have to prove anything. You simply have to stay connected to yourself. Self-trust is the foundation of dating with confidence. After emotional abuse, your ability to trust yourself may feel fractured. You may doubt your intuition, question your decisions, or feel unsure about what you truly want. This is a common experience for survivors, and psychologists like Dr. Kristin Neff emphasizes that self-compassion is essential in rebuilding trust. So rebuilding self-trust begins with listening to yourself again. This means paying attention to your emotions, your body signals, and your internal boundaries. If something feels off, honor that feeling. If something feels safe, allow yourself to explore it. Your intuition is not broken. It's simply been overshadowed by past experiences. Another part of rebuilding self-trust is slowing down. Dr. Sue Johnson's work on attachment shows that emotional safety develops gradually. So when you move slowly in dating, you give yourself time to observe, reflect, and make decisions from a grounded place rather than a triggered one. You can also rebuild self-trust by practicing small acts of self-honoring. So this could look like saying no when something doesn't feel right, taking breaks when you feel overwhelmed, setting boundaries early, choosing partners who respect your pace. Each time you honor yourself, you strengthen your internal sense of safety. Over time, this becomes confidence. So I want you to remember that self-trust is not about being perfect. It's about being present with yourself. It's about believing that you can handle whatever comes your way. And the great thing about it is that you absolutely can. Dating with confidence after emotional abuse is not about pretending to be fearless. It's about dating with awareness, intention, and emotional safety. Confidence grows when you know you can trust yourself to walk away from what isn't right and lean into what feels aligned. One of the first steps is identifying your non-negotiables. And we did this in an earlier podcast at the beginning of the year when we talked about how we wanted a relationship to go and what type of relationship we were looking for in the year 2026. So when we are identifying our non-negotiables, these are just the values, behaviors, and emotional needs that are essential for you to feel safe and respected. When you know your non-negotiables, you're less likely to settle or overlook red flags. Another key is moving at your own pace. Healthy relationship partners will respect your timing. They won't pressure you, rush you, or make you feel guilty for needing space. Dr. Sue Johnson's attachment research shows that secure relationships are built on responsiveness, not urgency. Confidence also comes from recognizing the difference between healthy attention and love bombing. Healthy attention is consistent, steady, and respectful. Love bombing is intense, fast, and overwhelming. So when you understand the difference, you can stay grounded even when someone shows strong interest. Setting boundaries early is another powerful confidence builder. Boundaries are not walls, they are bridges that help you connect safely. When you communicate your needs clearly, you create emotional safety for yourself and clarity for the other person. Finally, trust what you feel. If something feels off, pause. If something feels good, explore it slowly. Your body and intuition are wise guides. Dating with confidence is not about being perfect, it's about being present, aware, and committed to honoring yourself. So, what we're going to do right now is just talk about some red flags, okay? So, after emotional abuse, recognizing red flags becomes an essential part of protecting your heart. These signs aren't meant to make you fearful, they're meant to help you stay grounded and aware. I feel that sometimes, like when we know things and we are informed, we can make better decisions, right? And the same thing goes with relationships. When you're informed and you can recognize red flags, that's just information about the person, right? So it makes you informed because you're getting information about that person. And if you see red flags, it just gives you the information you need to make an informed decision on what you need to do to have that healthy relationship that you're looking for. And sometimes that might mean walking away from an unhealthy relationship early in the relationship. One major red flag is emotional unavailability. This can look like inconsistency, avoidance of deeper conversations, or an inability to express feelings. Research on attachment styles show that emotionally unavailable partners often create confusion and insecurity in relationships. Another red flag is pressure to move quickly. If someone pushes for commitment, intimacy, or emotional closeness before you're ready, that's a sign of boundary disregard. Healthy partners respect your pace. Pay attention to how someone responds to your boundaries. If they dismiss them, minimize them, or make you feel guilty, that's a sign of emotional immaturity. Boundaries are essential for healthy relationships, and anyone who cannot honor them is not ready for a relationship with you. I want you to also look out for inconsistency, okay? Hot and cold behavior, mixed signals, or unpredictable communication, that's definitely a red flag. Inconsistency creates emotional instability, which can feel familiar if you've experienced emotional abuse. But the familiar does not mean healthy. Also, notice how they handle accountability. So if someone blames others for everything, avoids responsibility, or becomes defensive when confronted, that's a sign of emotional unavailability. Finally, trust your body. If you feel anxious, tense, or unsettled around someone, pay attention. Your nervous system often picks up on things before your mind does. Red flags are not about judging others. They are about protecting your peace and keeping you safe. Now that we've looked at the red flags, let's look at green flags to look for in a relationship so we'll know the green flags to look for so that we can have confidence when we get back out there dating, okay? So green flags are just as important as recognizing red flags is to learning the identity of the person you're dating. So green flags are just signs that there is emotional safety, there's maturity, and healthy connection. One of the biggest green flags is consistency. Healthy partners show up in steady, predictable ways. Their words match their actions. They don't disappear and reappear. They don't create confusion. Consistency builds trust. Another green flag is emotional availability. This could look like someone who can express their feelings, listen with empathy, and communicate openly. Research by Dr. Sue Johnson shows that emotional responsiveness is one of the strongest predictors of relationship satisfaction. Respect for your boundaries is another powerful green flag. When someone honors your pace, listens to your needs, and adjusts without guilt tripping you, that's emotional maturity. Look for accountability as well. Healthy partners can apologize, take responsibility, and repair when needed. They don't blame you for the behavior or make you feel responsible for their emotions. I want you to also pay attention to how you feel around them. Do you feel calm? Do you feel safe? Do you feel seen? Do you feel heard? Your body, I say this a lot, I know I do, but it's true. Like, your body often recognizes safety before your mind does. Another green flag is kindness. Not performative kindness, but genuine, steady kindness that shows up in small ways. Healthy love is gentle, patient, and respectful. And finally, look for someone who supports your healing. They won't rush you. They're not going to minimize your past. They create a safe space for you to grow. Green flags help you recognize what healthy love looks like and what you deserve. The song we're going to listen to today is called Don't Go Breaking My Heart, and it is by our podcast artist, Emery Rose. The song is about a woman who is in a new relationship, and while this relationship feels pretty good, it feels like it could be a healthy relationship, she still is worried about her past relationships that were not healthy and were indeed toxic. So here is the song, Don't Go Breaking My Heart, by our podcast artist, Emery Rose.
It's been a while since I felt a long embrace. It's been a while since I felt my heart erase. 'Cause every time I think about you, my dreams come true. And every time I think about you, my love for you grows stronger. Don't go breaking my heart. I don't want to cry no more. Every time my heart heals, somebody breaks it open again. I've been through this situation before. I open up the door to my heart. I give away the love that I have, but at the end of the day, they all walk away. But every time I think about you, my dreams come true. And every time I think about you, my love for you grows stronger. Don't go breaking my heart. I don't want to cry no more. Every time my heart heals, somebody breaks it open again. Don't go breaking my heart. I don't want to cry no more. Every time my heart heals, somebody breaks it open again. I'm afraid to commit to you. After all that I've been through, I'm not pushing you away. I'm trying to be safe. Be patient with me. Be patient with me. Don't go breaking my heart. I don't want to cry no more. Every time my heart heals, somebody breaks it open again. Don't break my heart. I don't want to cry no more. Every time my heart heals, somebody breaks it open again.
So here are some reflective questions to help you deepen your healing and date with confidence. Question number 1. What does emotional safety feel like in my body? So with this, I want you to think about moments when you felt calm, grounded, or at ease, because these sensations are clues to what safety feels like for you. Question number 2. What are my non-negotiables in dating? So with this, I want you to identify the values, behaviors, and emotional needs that are essential for you in a dating relationship. Question number 3. What red flags have I ignored in the past and why? Now, this question can help you understand your patterns, but do it without judgment, okay? Question number 4. What green flags do I want to pay more attention to? So, a lot of times, healthy love can often feel unfamiliar at first, so naming green flags can help you recognize what green flags are and what you're actually looking for in a relationship. Question number 5. How can I honor my pace in dating? So with this question, I want you to think about what slowing down looks like for you, what it means to slow down and how that looks for you and what you're looking for. Question number 6. What boundaries do I want to set early in dating? So with this question, I want you to remember that boundaries create emotional safety, and based off of that, I want you to determine what are some boundaries that you feel like you need to set early in dating. Question number 7. How can I practice self-trust this week? So this week, I want you to choose one small, simple action that honors your intuition, okay? That's how you can practice self-trust this week and begin to rebuild the trust in yourself so that you can have confidence since you're dating after emotional abuse, okay? These questions are not meant to overwhelm you. They're meant to guide you gently back to yourself. So if you feel like answering all 7 in one setting is overwhelming, because it definitely could be, right? I want you just to pick one question a day and answer it. And that should make the overwhelm feel less overwhelming. And it can also help you because each day you're just focusing on one thing and not everything. So yeah, if you're feeling overwhelmed, I definitely encourage you just to pick one question a day and answer that question. Remember, healing is not about perfection. And I've said this before, but it is about awareness, compassion, and alignment. Before we close today's episode, I want to invite you to join me tomorrow for our Thursday question and answer episode. So every Thursday, we open the door to a different kind of conversation, one shaped entirely by your questions. So if you've ever wondered how to rebuild trust after emotional abuse, how to stop choosing emotionally unavailable partners, or how to set boundaries without guilt, tomorrow's episode is for you. Your question guides these episodes, and your voice help others feel less alone in their healing journey. So if you would like to submit a question for an upcoming question and answer episode, you can send it to kianawmitchell@gmail.com. I also have it in the show notes, so you can definitely just click on the link and you can send me your question. Now, you're welcome to share anonymously if you like, or you can share with your name. Whatever feels safe for you works for me. And don't forget to keep an eye out for the upcoming mini drop from our podcast artist, Emery Rose, whose music is soft, cinematic, and deeply reflective. Her new release will be available soon on all streaming platforms, so make sure you keep an eye out for that mini drop. So until next time, have a wonderful day and an amazing weekend. Bye-bye.